Hello everyone, it's Pepper Dude, and today I'm going to be analyzing the Nintendo Switch Sports overview trailer, which tells us a lot more about the game and has an in-depth look at each individual sport and how it works. So let's go ahead and get started. At the beginning, we can see some hand motions resembling how you'll hit the either shuttlecock or the volleyball or the soccer ball in the new sports here, which are volleyball, badminton, and soccer. And then we get the Nintendo Switch Sports logo with the little intro, like in the game, which we know from the online playtest. And then we have some gameplay clips of some of the returning sports as well. We can see the environments around these sports. In the soccer clip, we could also see the goal kind of had the bars on the edges to make the goal a bit smaller. We can also see Spocko Square here. It's actually pronounced Spoko Square, as confirmed by Nintendo. Well, not really confirmed, but that's how they say it in game and in this trailer as well. So first we have some volleyball gameplay. Bump, set, spike is really how it works, and then when your opponents try to attack or spike it on your side, you have to block. You can move your sports mate or me around a little bit. There is a little bit of movement, though I don't think it's exactly like free movement like how Mario Tennis Aces works compared to Wii Sports or Switch Sports Tennis, which you can't move your character either. Next we have badminton. So you'll serve the shuttlecock, and then you'll hit it, keep rallying back and forth. You can swing left and right. Similar to tennis, except badminton is always 1v1. You can hit a drop shot by swinging the Joy-Con while holding a ZR. And then when your opponent basically barely hits it back, you'll spike it down while they're on the ground. They won't be able to return it. And next we have bowling. We can see a few more gameplay clips here. It also talks about special lanes, which I'm not sure if these are exclusive to some sort of side mode, like in the original Wii Sports and Resort, where you had those side modes or training modes where you could do the special lanes. So I don't know if occasionally there'll be special lanes in normal bowling matches, or if these are exclusive to a side mode that we don't really know about yet. Obviously, the special lanes are confirmed, but we don't know exactly how we'll be able to play with them. And then we can also see that little barrier right there next to the bowling ball move side to side, which I don't remember if those were in the original or not. I think they were. And then there's also a little bit of a hill incline at the end of the lane. Here you can see the soccer goal. And then also on the bottom left, there's a mini map. The blue dots are the blue players on the blue team, and then the pink dots are the pink team or red team. And then the little yellow arrows, obviously, you or the player from the player's perspective. And then the black dot, I believe, is the ball, because the ball is relatively close to the player in this shot. And the black dot on the mini map is also close to the player's little indicator there. So you can see that you can do a diving shot there, and then you fall on the ground. How soccer works is it's 4 versus 4. It's not really confirmed whether you can do 8 people on one system, since soccer obviously supports 4 on 4, which is 8 players. Kind of like how the new Mario Strikers Battle League is going to work, where you can do up to 8 people on one Switch in one match, since Mario Strikers is also 4 on 4. So each person would use one Joy-Con. Not sure if that's how it works here. So we can see some more gameplay here. You can also do 1 versus 1 matches. And if you'll notice, this little field that the 1 versus 1 match is taking place on is actually smaller than the field from the other clip with 4 versus 4. This one appears to be indoors. There's a roof. Actually, I don't think it's actually a roof. I think it's just like an open area, but there's like a little overhang over it covering it. So it's not really like an enclosed area. And then there's glass all around the sides, so you can see out, and you can see the little other areas in this mall looking area in Spoko Square. And you can also see that the mini map appears to be a little smaller. And then the goals are obviously a little smaller, because the barriers, you can tell they're a different shape and they're also smaller. So the goal is smaller. I don't know if it's necessarily like harder to kick the ball in. I like how they're gonna do 1 versus 1 duels in soccer. That's an interesting idea, instead of just doing 4 on 4 every time. And then the leg strap accessory is compatible with soccer. Soccer is the only sport it's compatible with, but it's actually not compatible with soccer at launch and after launch until Nintendo releases a free software update for the game, which will allow you to use the leg strap with Soccer Match. So now it's going to show some shootout demonstration. The ball gets kicked to you, and then you kick it into the goal. You can see how the barriers are now larger. There's only like a very small goal area which you could actually kick the ball into. So I can see how this can get harder as you go on. It doesn't appear that the top barrier ever comes down farther. It's always the same height, the goal is, but sometimes it could be like different lengths. And then Shambara, or Shambara, you can actually use different sword types, which I think is interesting. And the difference between this version of Shambara and Wii Sports Resort is that when you hit your opponent into the water, it's actually slow motion, unlike Wii Sports Resort, where your opponent falls off and then like a split second later the camera then moves over the edge of the platform to watch them fall in. This time it's actually a slow motion instead of just like normal speed. And then it resumes the normal speed, your opponent falls into the water. The Wii Sports Resort version was a little different because once your opponent falls in the water, you couldn't see them. They go underwater, but in this version, you can actually see them under the water trying to swim back up. And then here you can see the three different sword types. You can use a normal sword, which works the same as Wii Sports Resort. You can use a charged sword, which is the same. If you block your opponent's attack, your charged sword will fill up with a little bit of purple. So it's kind of like a meter. And then it will show, you'll charge up your energy, and then you can unleash that energy to use a more powerful attack, which will knock your opponent back significantly. And then there's also twin swords, which is basically just dual wield. For twin swords, you use two Joy-Cons. You have one in each hand, and you just fight with two swords. And then you can also do the spinning strike to knock your opponent off the edge. So here you can see the charged sword in action. The opponent hits the other sword. They get blocked because they're defending. The charged sword fills up a little bit of purple there. They hit again. The sword is full. And then the player unleashes a strong charge attack, which knocks the opponent back a little bit more, you can see. The twin swords also, they have a different appearance from the normal sword. And then there's two of them. So there you can see the spinning strike, where the sportsmate kind of spins in the air like that. And now we're moving on to tennis, which is a little bit different, but also there are a lot of things that remain the same here. You can see that there are different courts you can play on, because actually in the Spoko Square, when you look at an overhead view, which they'll probably show later, or maybe they already have, you can see 3 different tennis areas, locations. There's a court inside each one of those little buildings, except there's an open roof. And then each court is a little bit different color. There's a pink one, there's a green one, and then there's like a brown one. So now we move on to the play style. You can see we have some 4-player gameplay for volleyball. 4 players on one system playing volleyball together, and then Shambara, 2-player on one Switch. And then we have tennis, 4-player. And then in bowling, we can see 3-player gameplay. We can't actually see 4-player gameplay, but it has been confirmed that you can play 4 players, obviously, like the originals. So here we can see the main menu. You can play online and earn items with 1 to 2 players. So when you are playing online, you can have another person join you on your same Switch. You can also play locally on one Nintendo Switch with up to 4 people on the same Switch. Of course, some sports don't support up to 4 people, like badminton is only 1 versus 1, and Shambara is only 1 versus 1. And then play with friends is like the same as play globally, but you play with people that you know that are far away, so you can use online connectivity. You can also do up to 2 people on one Switch, playing with 2 other people. And then since soccer supports up to 8 people, because it's 4-on-4, I would assume that you could do 4 switches, all play online, 2 people on each, or 8 switches, 1 person on each. I would assume that you could do that online, randoms, and with friends. Even though it says 1 to 2 players, that just indicates how many people can play on the one system when you're doing that mode. And you can search per sport, and then you can see some more gameplay clips of the different sports here. And also survival bowling. You can see all the different lanes here, up to 16 people. You can see the bowling ball racks there. It's definitely a different environment from the original and Resort, because it's got like an open roof. Well, not an open roof, but it looks like there's like glass. And then the Strike Bowling Shop is there. Hopefully we can visit these locations. And here we can see all 16 players. Survival bowling probably supports the most people. And then here we can see a good overhead view of the soccer field. And then we've got people on the outside of, I guess, the wall or the barrier. Spoken Square has a lot of open roof areas, so it's not necessarily all indoors like the previous Wii Sports games. Here you can see, we get another look at 8 players. You can also see the different titles above their names. We can see some stands over there past the wall with some other sports mates sitting on them. And we can see like that screen up there in the top left. And then right here you can see like the player jump and like do a kick, and then it kicks, it kind of like spikes the ball down, sort of. And we can see the look at the tennis court here. You can earn pro online in every sport. I don't know if you can do that offline by just playing against CPUs. We actually know more about online than offline, honestly, for this game. It says you've clearly got talent and can now compete in the Pro League. And then you can see that little badge there. So once you get into the Pro League starts at rank A. All of the other letter ranks are not actually Pro League, so when you start playing online, you'll start at E, and then you'll work your way up to E+, D-, D, D+, and all of the other ones. And then once you get to A, there's no A-, we're A+, there's no E-. So once you get to A, that's the Pro League. So Pro League, A, rank, same thing. So there is nothing past A. Here you can see the entire 12 ranks, E through A. So A is the Pro League, and then all of the other ones below it are just working your way up towards the Pro League, which is A rank. Here we can get another look at the customization for the sports mates in the Miis. We can see you can customize the look of your eyes / eyelashes / eyebrows, and also like the facial features, because it looks like just a few preset options. You can't customize them individually, which is why Miis are obviously superior. And the skin tone, you can customize the eye color, and then in the top we can see the tabs for the face, which is what we're looking at right now, the hair, and then looks like there is an eyebrow tab, so I guess you can fully customize your eyebrows there, and then the facial features like the cheeks is the last one. Here we can see the hair options. I would hope that there's more hair options than this, because this isn't really a whole lot of hairstyles. There's only like 14 of them. We can see all 14 right here. You can obviously change the color of your hair. There's not really a whole lot of options there. Honestly, the Mii Maker customization is a lot more diverse than the Sportsmate customization options. And then we can see some of the outfits. This looks like it's in a separate menu because there are separate tabs at the top. So there's a lot of different clothing options. You got the default ones, and you can see the other unlockable clothes. Some of them, you got like a soccer jersey in the bottom left, and then another one on the right side. And then some overalls, a skirt. A lot of different options here. And here, we can see that Miis are indeed coming back. There are no tabs, so it doesn't really look like there's going to be customization for Miis. Or maybe it's a separate little menu here, because we can't see any tabs. It's just a blank menu with Miis to choose from, and then you can see them in the default Sportsmate outfit, because obviously it just puts the Mii head on a Sportsmate's body, so they basically just look like a Sportsmate, but their head is a Mii. So there's not really a whole lot to see on that screen. We can see another tennis win. Here you can see once you collect 100 points, there's a little present icon there. Shows you how many points you earned above that. Once you get to 100, you can unlock a new item, which is random. So it says +1, and then what you get is random. This is the Shadow set, which kind of looks like a ninja. It shows these sportsmates holding blue swords. So I don't know if this Shadow set includes the outfits and the different swords. It says outfit, so I'd assume this is just the Shadow set outfit. And here we can see a different perspective of the Shambara arena. We can see the other side. You can see the little waterfall with like the neon Shambara swords symbol. And you can see some plants below that. And then there's like some stairs that go up, and then a hand railing, an overlook area where some sportsmates are watching. And then down on the floor, right next to the edge of the water, where they could easily fall in, there's some more sportsmates sitting there. There's some tables and chairs. It's a nice little area. I would assume there's like a coffee shop or some sort of cafe nearby. Like I said, hopefully we can go visit those areas. It would be really disappointing if we couldn't. And then here, what I think is interesting is that you can see the soccer ball is gold, which I would assume is one of the gear customization options, or one of the alternate pieces of gear you can unlock. Because I think in addition to the clothes and items you can unlock, there's also different gear you can unlock, like alternate swords like we saw earlier, and then a gold soccer ball. Here we can see different badminton rackets, which look like candy or lollipop. Here we can see a different bowling ball. So Nintendo hasn't really talked about this straightforward in any of the trailers, but I think what they're hinting at here is basically you can make your gear look different either by just unlocking these different variants or being able to customize it freely without really having to unlock any of that. Here's the pink tennis court. And then we can see a lot more different sports modes, because obviously here they've got like all of the different clothes instead of the default outfits and default hairstyles. And Nintendo Switch Sports is available April 29th, 2022, which is just in a few days. Cannot wait for this game. I'm a big fan of Wii Sports and the Miis. Obviously, we all know how much I like the Miis. I'm really excited for this game. Can't wait. I enjoyed the previous titles in the series, so I'm glad that Nintendo is making a new Wii Sports entry on Switch. We can also see here that they talk about the free update for adding leg strap support to the soccer matches, not just shootout. It'll be only compatible with shootout launch. So here we can see leg strap accessory play will be added for soccer matches just later on. It won't be actually available at launch. And then golf, a brand new sport, is going to be added in a free update in the fall. So golf is actually going to be part of the lineup, which is something not many people think about, because they're thinking about there's only 6 sports, but there's actually going to be a 7th. It's just that it's not coming until later. So I really do hope that they add other sports, like maybe baseball, boxing, table tennis from Wii Sports Resort, maybe basketball. I mean, how is there not a basketball court in Spoko Square? There just has to be. It just seems like the perfect environment for that. This hole, I believe, is from the original Wii Sports game. So that is exciting. They're adding golf. I just hope that there's going to be even more sports added later on down the line. Thank you all so much for watching this analysis of the Nintendo Switch Sports overview trailer. I'm really excited for this game. Look forward to more videos on it soon, and I will see you all next time. God bless.